Hit record, mate. There we go. Alrighty, legends. I am currently in Timor Lest, and I'm having a conversation with this absolute madman here. His name's Fernando, and he has been attacked by a saltwater crocodile while spearfishing, correct?
Right.
Not once, but twice he's been attacked by a saltwater crocodile. So I'm just going to get him to tell me the story. I have not heard this story yet. So you, legends, you guys and girls and everyone in between, you are hearing the story at the same time as me, essentially. By the time I post it, I'll have already heard it. But you get what I mean. This is exciting stuff. Fernando, tell me your story, mate. Tell me what happened.
All right. So let's start from the beginning. So that the first time was 15 years ago. So when I just got to Timor Leste, me and my friend were really excited with the sea and the animal life and everything. So we were spearfishing with traditional guns at that time, and completely crazy doing it at night in Bauca, which is one of the places known by crocodiles, but we didn't know that at that time. And so yeah, basically we went there. It was nighttime. We were. I remember here we have to ask the shaman for the authorization to go to do spearfishing at night.
Yep.
So we did, and he told us, okay, you can go, but I will not let you go alone. I'll send you one of my guys with you. And so we were three of us, and so we went
At night time.
and on their spot, So basically, it was for us was like truly exciting, the thing, because it's a bit of it's a coward to do it in that sense, because the fish are sleeping. It's much easier to catch fish, and that's why. That's why it happened, I believe, in the first time. So basically, the two guys were carrying the guns. I was carrying the torch and the bag to carry the fish. And we just arrived there, and was in not even 5 minutes we caught a big fish immediately. And at that moment, so I have the bag with the fish, and we keep going, and then there's another huge fish that goes through us, and they both miss it. And this traditional spear gun fishing, you need a lot of strength to push them back and to go and get the spear. And so they were doing that while I was pointing to the place, to the rock where the fish went to hide himself. And at that moment, so I'm pushing to see them, pushing to see the fish, and at this moment there is this. You're so excited with all of this that there is this huge thing that shows up. And for me, it was like, what a huge fish! Oh. And it was the crocodile, and it almost touched. I think he mixed Andre, my friend, because of the torch. Because usually they don't miss an attack. Yeah. So he just almost touched him and came out of the water, jump, and he missed. So he missed the attack at that time. And so I always say that the Timorese, he beat Michael Phelps. He just immediately but no one recorded, unfortunately. He was beaten.
That's the unofficial
Michael
world
Phelps
record.
Was completely beaten. He disappeared immediately. Andre, my friend, was the opposite. He was like crying and shouting, slowly moving towards the beach. But at least he carried his spear fishing. Like if the crocodile would come, he would try to protect himself. Yeah. And so, but he also goes out, and I had a totally different experience from them, because they were preparing their guns when they see the crocodile coming out of the surface, while I saw him coming from under, and I was like in totally shock. I see him doing all the movement, and they both disappear, and I just stay in shock, facing the crocodile, and we stay like I'm here and he's there on the tree, and facing each other.
Wow.
Until he decides to leave. He decides to go, and then I'm slowly. You're in such a thing that you're not afraid. You're not nothing. You're ready for anything. And so he goes, and I slowly get to the beach. And when I start getting closer to the beach, because we're pretty far, that's when I start Andre crying and everything. That's when I start realizing what's happening. I arrive in the beach and I start crying and crying and crying. And it was the whole night talking to each other, because we had so much ideas to do in Timor, and it's like, how are we gonna do now, man? Now we can do nothing. Shit, man. It was a hell of a limitation.
Well,
But
you go into shock, and then when you have, because you've got that big adrenaline boost, and then when you have the adrenaline dump, super emotional.
Exactly.
Super emotional.
Exactly. That's what happened.
Oh, man.
And
that is
my
wild.
therapy. And I remember the next day we were going to sleep late night, and then in the morning there's the fishermen. They come to us. Hey, do you want to come with us? We're going to the water. It's like, Andre, do you want to go now? I said, no. I sleep. And he said, oh, I'm going, because it was I remember this is the opportunity for me to clean, to go back to the water.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
back
if
on the
it's
horse,
not
yeah.
now, it's not now. I will never do it again. So I went. I went there, and they. I remember I was there. I was like trying to understand why this happened, why everything, because Andre left his gun as well, so they wanted to find the gun he left on the water and everything. Anyway, this was the first.
for you? This is your one?
For both of us.
Oh, thanks, mate.
No, it's for you first.
Obrigado.
And then so time passed. I went for therapy. My therapy was going to the Philippines to dive with the whale sharks.
Yeah.
Like seeing this big animal that can't do any harm to you. It was a good release for me. And so I did it, and I keep going. I kept doing it because it's such an adrenaline, as you just said, to go back in the water, to fish, and everything. And yeah, so this last time was already 4 years ago. And
4 years ago was the most
4 years
recent
ago,
one.
yeah,
Okay.
and so we're going to the Secret Beach. Secret Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches we have in Balcao, and we're going on this boat. And you know, in Timor there is always a lot of stories behind the stories. And I remember, so I was taking my dog, my friend was taking his dog as well, and both of them vomited on the trip. And the guy was already saying, this means something.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And he was saying, like, this means something. The dogs are vomiting. This means something. This means something. Oh, really? Okay. He arrived, and me and Tiago, we were both on the water, and he said, okay, let's go. And so he forgot his spearfishing gun on the beach that we left on the boat, and he said, oh, are you ready? He said, oh, I can't find my gun. Oh, so what is? And so he realized, oh shit, I forgot my gun. And I said, oh, anyway, let's go. I mean, come with me. We're gonna share the gun. You go and I go. You go and I go. That's how we did it. So basically, we were already like 30 minutes on the water, and I assumed that the crocodile was already following us. We were like in the barrier. So they hide underneath with the rocks, you know.
Yeah.
While we're following, and he's following us, and he's looking after the perfect moment. And I bet he chose me instead of Tiago, because Tiago is a much bigger guy.
Yeah, you're smaller.
And he said, okay, this is the guy. This is what I'm going for. And so he waited until Tiago was down there with the gun. And I was like just snorkeling, watching the little fishes, and then he just comes from the back, like they always do. So I suddenly I just feel a big shock in my body. It was like, oh, fuck. And this is, of course, we can't really understand what happened, but from my understanding, because everyone said, how did he release? Because they don't release the person. Well, I don't know if he was just seeing what I was, first of all. When it was not a really strong bite, it was just a bite to see what I was. And in the other hand, when he touched me, I immediately switched my body. That's how you can see on the pictures. On the back there is like scratches, so he couldn't really grab me from the back. He grabbed me from the arm. He put all his feet on my arm, but the underneath of his mouth, he couldn't really grab me. He was like in his. That's when I believe I moved and I took out my body out of his mouth. And when I turned myself, he's like turning all his body in front of me, his tail almost in my face. and going. And then suddenly I just start screaming and asking for Tiago, come, bring the gun. And said, what the hell, fucking crocodile? And said, oh really, shit, are you okay? Okay, just point the gun, but are you okay? Just point the gun, just point the gun, let's go. And then he grabs me and he starts moving me, because we were far again from the shore. It's like 100 meters. And so he pushing me, he's taking me to the sand. And we arrive in the sand and says, this is insane, man, this is insane, what just happened? And I remember we had a lot of friends, they were on the beach, they were snorkeling, and the kids of Tiago, the babies and everything. It's like, and I remember, I was like, hey Tiago, let's not say this happened. I said, are you crazy, man? No, let's just say that it was just something, no, it doesn't matter. No, you're crazy. And so when we arrived to our friends, and Tiago was this very simple guy that's like, oh, he just got bitten from a crocodile. Are you guys kidding me? Don't play with these things. And no, look at his back, And like, and then we were, wow, what a shock. And then immediately I asked the fisherman at that moment, like, is it okay to do it? I said, yeah, it's okay. And I said, come on, man, you told me it was okay. I said, yeah, man. He was really embarrassed. Because this just happened. And then he starts telling me, this boat, previously, there was a kid who got killed by a crocodile here 5 years ago. Yeah, I remember that story. It was a huge beast, a 5 meters crocodile.
Wow.
1.1 wide, really a beast. And they made movies and everything, measured everything. That's why. I remember that story. So you know what? Because traditionally here, when this happens, though they believe there is a sort of a karma. So something was done incorrectly. There is some mistake done by the person who got attacked, or if not, some from the family, a family member.
Okay.
And they were starting to tell me, okay. So is there something wrong? Well, I don't know, man. He said, first of all, you remember that time that crocodile got killed, because so they go for the shaman and they ask for the spirit. The shaman will talk with the spirit of the crocodile and will tell, hey, please bring the body back, because this is not your food. Your food is the animals. We'll give you back one. They can give like a pig or a goat, something in exchange for the body. And 95% of the cases, the body is given back. It's unbelievable.
The crocodile brings the body back.
Yes. This always happen, and I'm here for 15 years,
No, I believe it, but
it's unbelievable. So the body's back, and then they give an animal back in exchange, and that's always happening. But this time is one of those 5% occasions that the body was not given back after 2 days. And they said, okay, let's go with the boats, let's go find the crocodile, let's try to find the body. So they went, until they reach a point that they find the crocodile with still parts of the body carrying on his own, and there was a member of the family was really pissed off, and the crocodile was not giving and everything, and he was a policeman, and he just start firing the crocodile, killing, but he takes a lot to kill, and the crocodile just hits with his tail, on the boat, and makes this huge hole on the boat. But luckily it's made on the top,
above the
water. Otherwise they would all be there, and they will, my goodness. No, and this is the boat that was carrying us. And that's when they told you should. When I went to the community, there was you should never take this boat, because this boat is the boat of the crocodile, and he knows that. It's all it's your mistake, and everything. I said, shit, I didn't know them, and okay. So there is all this, and I remember. After that, continuing this story of the kid who got killed of a crocodile, a week later, there was this shaman from my village. I remember once he was fishing on the sea. I just went for my swim, and when I'm going back, I see a lot of people watching the sea, pointing to the guy, and I said, and I stopped my bike and I said, what's going on? Tio Jorge is the shaman. He's there with Avô. Avô is like the grandfather. He's there with the grandfather. I stop my bike and going to look, and there is he's fishing with the water and it's like pretty far from the sand, and it's like, and the crocodile is facing him right in front, and they're facing each other, and he's fishing until he just got pissed off because the crocodile is like interrupting his fishing, and gets mad, and like he starts moving towards the crocodile on the sea. So I mean, theoretically, he has no chances.
No.
If the crocodile wants, he goes and kills him immediately, and he has no time to go back to the shore. But I believe the crocodile doesn't have this understanding. So when he sees us, he sees this is a predator. This is also a potential predator for me, so I won't go. And when he starts moving those 10 meters towards him, the crocodiles move back 10 meters. Unbelievable. Wow. And I see this story, I stay there 30 minutes, nothing happens, and I go back, and there was a ceremony once in the village, and I go to George, hey man, I saw what you were doing, are you crazy, man, you're not afraid of... No, they don't do anything bad. So, oh really? Yeah, only if you do something bad, they will do something bad. But he was interrupting us, so I move forward. Okay, oh really? But how you feel comfortable, you know? You remember that crocodile got killed? After 1 week, they buried him. I went there, I deep buried, they took out the crocodile, and I took his two big teeth.
Yeah.
I always carried them with me. Whenever I go, the two big teeth.
Wow.
So he believes, and I believe too, that so the crocodile there, he knew who he was, and he had the teeth of an ancestor of his.
Yeah.
So
he's carrying that energy with him.
Exactly. And so this is Timor is all of these stories, and I have so many with friends of mine. After this, there was a big friend of mine, a big artist, who he was sculpturing his bigger statue of a crocodile when his mother got killed by a crocodile. In Los Palos. So we went to this, but for them was like that person was the third person in a month, and that was something like completely out of normal. So they would do normally the normal ritual, but they said no, this is the third person in 1 month. This never happened. So the problem is not just a person, it's not the family. The problem is the community. Okay. The whole village, we have to make a ceremony. So they did the ceremony and told me, Fernando, you have to be part of this. Of course I'm going. I remember going on my way, stopping a bike in a bridge, and I said, I'm gonna find the crocodile now, I'm gonna film him. He's part of this, and there he is. I stop the bike, and there's the crocodile coming towards me. I make the movie, and I go there, and then when I arrive, he said, oh, you have to go now and talk with the two shamans for the tomorrow ceremony. Okay, so let's go. You have to tell your story. And I told my story and everything, and I remember they're telling in the end, it's like impressive. And they told, did you already did the ritual after that? And I said, no, I didn't. You have to. And that's why these things keep happening to me, I believe, because I'm supposed to do a ceremony.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm not doing because I truly believe in it, but it's just being lazy and forgetting and being busy with other things, and I never done. And that's why these things keep happening. In the middle of these two attacks, I have my hostel, and a crocodile shows up inside the hostel. This is insane. These stories, when I say showing up when I'm in the sea, that's normal. But coming into my hostel, he went through hundreds of houses in the middle of a city, and he chose, this is the house, and he comes in.
You're kidding.
And he's there. We have movies, everything, and he's inside the hostel, the crocodile inside.
What?
And then all my neighbors are like, Fernando, you have to do the ritual. You have to solve this thing. I said, oh yeah, I really do have to. And last year I was having my to finish. I was having my New Year's party with friends in Bali. I was staying in Legend. And for the first time ever, in the daytime, a sea crocodile shows up in Legend, and I said, no, this is too much, man. They've never been here, and he comes all the way, and he shows up in the beach where I am. Yeah. And that's 11 or 12 kilometers beach, and he shows up right
where you are.
So there is this.
Trying to finish the job.
I definitely have to solve this issue.
Yeah. So you did the ritual after that?
Yet.
You still haven't? Oh, you're a madman! You got to do it. You got to do it, man. That's there's something to be said for these.
So not much left from. I still have the hole. The hole is here.
Yeah. I saw the photos. Yeah. I'll put the photos in this too, legends.
There is a hole, and it's been 4 years, and when I touch deep still hurts. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. So there's a piece of meat missing, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, they put a hole in you. It's like getting shot.
Absolutely. But there was a miracle. There's a lot of miracles. I remember so this happened, and 1 week before my attack, I met this woman, a nurse, in a bar. You know, and I oh, hello, I'm a nurse. I'm just volunteering here at the National Hospital. Oh, beautiful. And so then I had my attack, and then everyone knew about the story, and she found my phone and she calls me. Hey, Fernando, I just heard this happen. Are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. Don't worry. And so I was just doing this simple treatment that you saw, taking out the things, the gas and everything every day, but going and coming back home and doing my normal jobs. And said, please, can you show me the pictures? Yeah, I will, sure. You know why? Because I'm a specialist in crocodiles. Oh, are you kidding me?
Wow, what are the odds of that? Meeting a nurse that specialises in crocodiles.
And she sends me a picture immediately, and she's grabbing in Australia, in Darwin, a crocodile. So, okay, no doubts about it. And I send her the picture. When she sees the pictures, he calls me back and said, Fernando, come immediately to Dili if you don't want to lose your arm or your life. So, are you kidding me? No, they're taking... No. This is completely infectious. You have a lot of bacteria inside of your body. It will get to your bone and you're going to lose your arm at least.
Yeah.
He said, and I'm going to send you a research we did, one of the very few research we did around the world on saltwater crocodile attacks. And she sends me this, and there was 11 persons who got bitten by crocodiles and survived in Australia, northern Australia. And so they all got the best treatment they could in Australia after their attacks, operated and everything. And 5 of them, so 50%, still got reinfected and have to be reoperated.
Wow!
Because of it, and I was just putting
it's
betadine.
deep tissue. It's such deep wounds.
And I was just putting betadine on my ones. When I read these, I said, "Shit, I'm going now straight to Dili."
Straight to the hospital.
And I remember when I arrived in the hospital with all these wounds still bleeding and everything, and there is the doctor comes to me. Oh, what happened? I said, oh, I got bitten by a crocodile. And his first thing said, oh, you survived it. I said, well, I'm still here. Oh, beautiful. Did you kill the crocodile? I said, no, man, he ran away. I said, so, but the funny thing is, like, he was more worried with the story than treating me, you know. He was so excited. And when it was in Baucau, and I arrived, and I said, shit, the crocodile. And they put me in a room, and suddenly there's all the nurse and doctors coming, watching pictures, and they're like, go away. It was the excitement, of course.
Like a bit of a celebrity.
I remember, I know, even the president came to see me in the operator's room. We were a lot of people. We were 12 persons on that, and I remember I was the guy with the less case, you know. All the other people were much worse than me on that room, but I remember when their family members would come to see their family members. The guy was, they were running and said, oh, that guy got attacked, the Malay is the foreigner, the Malay got attacked by crocodile. They would come straight to me before I was visiting. He's like, oh no. It was the movement. So we had a beautiful 7 days beautiful stay in the hospital, and mingling with all the local people was a beautiful experience. It was a story to tell.
That is a story to tell, mate. That's wild. That's one of the most wildest things I've ever heard. To get attacked by a crocodile that big out in the ocean and survive.
True.
That is incredible. And not only that, you know, like the crocodile finding you on the beach 12 kilometres from the other spot, and then crocodile finding its way through town into your hostel.
And that's the thing, you know, when the first attack happened and he missed and everything, and I said, this story is not yet finished. I would only think he will come after me. He will still come, and he did.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the same. It could be the same because the attacks were not far from each other.
And even if it's not the same crocodile, it's the same energy that's hunting you down. Essentially.
Exactly.
What are you going to do? Do the ritual.
I have to.
You have to. And do it this week, mate. Do it this week. Do it before the next time you go in the ocean. Definitely.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you so much, mate. Wow, that is a story and a half, legends. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna. I don't think I need my coffee now. My heart's pumping just hearing the story, mate. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing, and thanks for watching, legends.
Let's have our breakfast
while
we are alive.